Good morning. We're here. The market's alive. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe not. Decided that I wanted to stream a little bit this morning, taking a look at things. Uh, Good or bad. Yesterday was funny because we chatted and things were green while we chatted, while we streamed. And then by the time that we wrapped up, everything was red. Well, that's not true. It was shortly after we wrapped up, everything was red. So maybe the secret is I just got a 24-hour stream forever, and things just stay green. But I did have stuff that I wanted to do because I had been looking at uh, some of these tickers that were looking really nice at first. At first, and now not so much. Here we go. All right, let me get my stuff back set up here. I am not set up. Am I live? I am live. All right, cool. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. And Alec, am I nasally again? Dude, this is the frizz. This is the frizzle robe. I also have I got the hat too. We gotta save electricity here while the market's down. So, there's no heat on in the house. We're just straight robing it. That's all right. Well, actually, I'm gonna start sweating anyway as the market opens. So I probably won't need the robe long term. Hey, Erex, good to see you. This is a look. Well, I got new glasses. I got all these new glasses I have to try. I got like these are the original pair that I usually wear, and then I got these for computer use, and then which look kind of the same, and then I got these for driving, but I don't think they work for driving. So I think they mixed up the prescriptions. Maybe I'm wrong. So anyway, I'm just testing out different looks for real. But I did want to talk market stuff a little bit. We got stuff going on. Uh, there's probably I think there's some Fed talks happening right now. Maybe I should open up X as well. What do we got on X? Let me bring that over here. Man, it is. Oh, we got the Theta Daddy post. Have you liked it yet? Have you hit the heart button? I just did. Great time to buy Bitcoin. I don't think I'm going to touch Bitcoin regardless. Oh, this is cool. Elon's got some wild pictures and gifs going on right now. Oh, jeez. Okay, we don't need the robots killing people as a part of what we do here. That seems questionable. Oh, by the way, check out our Black Friday discount if you haven't already. It lets you continue on your current subscription. It just adds it to the end, so it's kind of cool. And then we've got Cantonese Cat. I wonder if Cantonese Cat's got anything fun that he's been talking about recently. Everything is probably the same. Where, yeah, he's just going to be talking pretty well statistically on his stuff. But here we go. Let's go back to our stuff though, which is one of the things that I was interested in that I keep edging everybody on is Rocket Lab. Yesterday I said, man, I'd love to get in Rocket Lab at 40, and here we are. Hey, sorry. You like them? All right, cool. Well, I appreciate that. My wife actually didn't pick these out for once. I picked them out. Yeah, so the Fed talks are wild right now. They're like ping ponging the market in a really scary way to me. Like the fact that everything is pretending to hinge on rate cuts, but also looks for any reason to drop at the hint of AI not saving and changing the world is wild. Hey, DT. But look at this. Look at Rocket Lab. We opened at 46. And if you remember what I said yesterday, I said, wow, I can't believe I missed the price at 40. And then we closed below 40. which, by the way, is getting really close to the 200 SMA on the daily here. I'm not sure about the weekly. The weekly's got to be really far off. Yeah, no, we still got a long way down there. But we landed exactly on a prior drawn support from way, way long ago. This channel that we were wheeling with great success here. Anytime we dropped in the mid 40s, I was selling CSPs and then buying them back or letting them expire, whatever. It was great, and the premium's always over 2% for what we were looking at on Rocket Lab. Today, pre-market, we're at exactly 40, and unfortunately, I'm not sure I have any cash to play Rocket Lab, but I want to, and I want to get back in on them at 40. I think that is a wildly good price, and no real news to speak of, particular specific to either Rocket Lab or the rocket industry that I'm aware of. Now, I guess we can take a look. Okay, look. Rocket Lab stock fell 7.5% recently as investors shift away from volatile growth sectors and worries over high valuations and interest rate uncertainties. I mean, again, this, I can't help but always feel like this is some form of manipulation, but this could be a bounce point. This could be a weak support point. We are, this line is in the middle of the fib, right? So like there's really nothing here saying we have to have support here. It's just the prior level of where we've held in the past. More likely this 200 is going to be the stronger point of support, and I should probably make this purple. That would match. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's very pretty. If you're out of cash, what's the current holdings? Current holdings is all over the place. Let me see. I can bring that up. Give me a sec. I got X up over here, right? Yeah, okay. The trade tracker is honestly not completely up to date, but this is fairly accurate of what I have right now. I have a lot of Reddit. I have a lot of Bull. I kind of want to buy more Bull, which is kind of crazy at 825. Again, the earnings report for Bull was great. I didn't get a look on guidance, but I'm curious if that is changed at all. I have another 800 of CoreWeave, so it's actually 1,800 shares. All the way down at under 70 is wild. I find it hard to believe, honestly. My cup is still intact, though, sort of. Yeah, this is just crazy breakdown in the semiconductors here, and even NBIS, which was as high as 102, dropped all the way down to 80. Like, that is insanity. That is so, like, 10% from yesterday, but 20% intraday. Insane. Seems overreactive. Still have a lot in Google, or sorry, in Reddit. I was looking at Google when I said that, and no change there for me. I still feel fine on Reddit. This cup, by the way, is more like that, and I think we're in a good spot here. I do actually think we're cupping, and I wonder if we're cupping here and not all the way back here, back to like this 230 spot. So like if I were to redraw this, maybe it's probably more like this, maybe back to here. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I'm just looking at the. I'm doing this while looking here at the volume kind of trailing off, and I think there's a good chance that we pick back up. So maybe it's a smaller cup, not that giant cup that I drew. But anyway, yeah, I got Reddit holdings, and then I'm still deep in RDTL, GME. The fact that it's under 20 is like less than the asset value. This is a KSS situation all over again. Like, what is the GME market cap right now? I think they've got 5 billion in cash. Where's GME? Where are you at? There we are. And market cap is 10. Yeah, I don't think this doesn't seem like this seems like a great place to jump in. Not financial advice, so you don't do diligence. But this is an insanely low for a company that's both growing, making money, and has over 5 billion in cash. This seems like an insanely low market valuation right now. So I'm not worried about owning it here at all. At all, I own it at 22 or 23 right now, cost basis. Then I got Hims. Hims is beyond down to the dumps. It does look like we might get back to the 20s, which is crazy. That would be a 50% drop from where I'm in anyway. Oscar, I'm also in at like 20 on them. So everything is insanely low. I have some Met U, a little bit of IBIT Etha, which whatever happens here happens. This is really more for just like having some holdings in it. Archer is below 7. Wow. Archer is at ONS level. 687 versus what's ONS at? Especially at open ONS is maybe going to outpace them. 6. Oh, no, don't make me say 6.7. That's not it. No, 650. Wow. That's crazy. And terrifying, right? Because, like, what caused that drop? Just broad market sell off, really, is what that is. And it doesn't feel good, honestly. Like, I look at that and I'm like, well, that sucks. We had it at 11 plus, so that's been a little painful to watch. Echem, Chemi. Yeah, Reddit's been stable in a crazy way. Even with everything else going on, I think Reddit is probably my most stable. Looks like we just hit 930. Let's get to Reddit. I'm curious. Looks like we're down more today to start. It hasn't drawn the new candle yet. This is not today, right? That's yesterday. Or yeah, I guess it hasn't kicked in yet from yesterday. But Rocket Lab. Okay, so we're opening green for a lot of things. Let's see what's popping. There we go. Trading View isn't like reset yet, so I can't even sort it correctly. Google is up again, going bull flag into bull flag here, which is crazy. ONS is back in the green. ASTS, Rocket Lab that I was just talking about is probably back above. Bull is flat after really good earnings. I can't believe Bull is flat at the bottom. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Now, we might start seeing a turn here. Well, or maybe if I stare at it long enough, it'll go red. Yeah, a lot of mix and match going on. Okay, Reddit's opening up again. That's nice to see. CoreWeave up a couple of percent, but man, it's a couple of percent from the absolute toilet. So, it doesn't mean a whole lot. Same with NBiz. Yeah, I don't know. This is we got to be careful with the whole 9:30 a.m. rug pull that we've been experiencing day after day. Iron looks awful after a great start to their day. I was saying yesterday, congrats to iron holders for what was a wild recovery. Hey, Burrito, good to see you too. And Justin, look at everybody jumping in here. Yeah, so Echem, I agree with you on GME. I think it's just wildly undervalued right now, and we can actually bring that up on where did I lose them again? Where are they at? Let's go. Let's sort by symbol here. We can bring up the balance sheet real quick. Financials, earnings. Here we go. Income statement, balance sheet. Where are you at? Statements, balance sheet. Assets. I think when we were looking at cash, oh my goodness, dude, they are at 8.7 billion, and the market cap is 8.9 billion. What? Actually, total assets is 10 billion, so we're trading under their liquidation value. Now, if I do net everything, it's 5 billion, right? So still, that's insane to consider that we are trading below their asset value for market cap. That is insane. So what do you do? Well, the answer is wait, like literally nothing. And that was the answer, if you remember KSS, which I haven't looked at in a while. I wonder what they're doing. They were at 20 at one point. They're back. They're still holding pretty strong, actually. We were playing them at 8 and 9 down here, if you guys remember, and girls, sorry. I got in at 7. I tried to get in at 7. I got in at like 780 or whatever. And I think I sold here. I think I sold at 10. And we had that spike up to 20. But look at them. They've actually been, their story has turned really nicely here. And they've turned mostly bullish with the exception of just really this past week. That's crazy. Maybe I should keep Coles on the watch list. I hadn't thought about them in quite some time here. But I think we're in a similar situation with GameStop where it's very clear. You can just look at the balance sheet. And again, growing earnings beats across the board where, they're making money again and doing pretty well there. It seems pretty wild that we're trading below asset value. Revenue, where's the net? Yeah, I mean multiple billions of dollars here. Significant earnings. So yeah, everything's positive. It's positive and growing, like literally growing here. So I look at these and I go, there's a rationality, and I know that whole statement of the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. Well, the money's not going anywhere. Like if you had to liquidate, whatever, you have to liquidate. You gotta do what you gotta do. But I look at this and I go, I feel like Roaring Kitty right now. Not quite, not quite. He feels like a multi-hundred millionaire, so I guess we probably feel a little bit different. GT is still holding really strong, by the way. We keep looking at GT right now, and despite the craziness, they're holding really strong. Bull is back to flat for the day opening. Coin is up, so that must mean Bitcoin is up, isn't it? Oh no, look at that. We're down on Bitcoin again. But are we moving up or staying flat here? It's hard to say. It looks like some current movement up. I don't know. We'll have to watch that over time. Maybe if I looked at the 3-minute chart, that would tell us a little bit more, huh? Oh, well, that's a good sign for the day, for the morning here. We'll see if that trend can continue for, I don't know, forever. Forever, ever would be nice. Got a long way to go on Bitcoin, man. Holy. So not sure how you should be feeling. Down 6% on the 3-month. Feel good about your holdings despite them being down. I mean, I don't know if this makes you feel better or worse, DT. I'm fine sharing this. Like from all-time highs in September, I'm down 30 something percent. Like the port's down $350,000. Doesn't feel good, but I keep going back to well, what's the alternative? What are you going to do? Do you sell? Do you sell into a potential V-shaped recovery? That would feel even worse. So all I do is the same thing I've done in the last 20 years, and that's wait. And when you wait, it's not fun. It's not sexy. Certainly not exciting. But every single time I've done that, we have recovered. We may not recover at the speed that I would like to. Go back to the daily here. Right? We all would love to only ever see all-time highs and keep going up. But the fact is, that's not how it works. I think what feels particularly bad is that we tend to look at small caps, some good volatility tickers where, there's a lot of premium involved, and they're fun companies. They have good news. They have good growth. But this is when we have moments of risk and uncertainty, which it's even hard to quantify, I think, what that is right now. Is it really just rate cuts? I was talking about it with my wife this morning over breakfast, and I feel like it's just this large mix of things happening all at once or not happening all at once. And we've had so much growth that in so many different stocks that the party has to end at some point where people take a breather, right? Like if you've been to really good parties, it may be 7 a.m., but by 7 a.m., people are passing out. Well, the market's doing the same. This is a terrible analogy or metaphor. But, it does have to take a breather where people are profit taking or backing off because we don't know how high it can go. So maybe we just get out while it's high. Well, that's great, and we've already reverted back to 100 SMAs, if not 200 SMAs in a lot of cases. Look at ASTS on the daily is below the 100 SMA back at 50. I I remember talking about it here in the 20s, right? And then everybody was upset that we sold when it was at 100. Well, now it's right in the middle of those two positions. Is this a point where you want to get back in or not? The problem is if you're tied up in positions, it doesn't feel good to sell a position and exchange it either, right? What do you sell? Do you sell something that's nothing's up? Do you sell something that's down? And the answer is I don't think so. I think you hold on to the stocks that you had conviction in and belief in. And so for me, like I still feel really good about NBIZ. And it's interesting because look, somehow we're not filling the gap on NBIZ. We got real close. We dumped hard back to it. We're threatening the gap and the gap fill, but we're just not closing it, teetering on it. But I think people know there's just so much guaranteed here with contracts that no, this is a safe spot, and it feels like a floor. But it doesn't take it doesn't. We could watch it right now. Gap fill potentially. Who knows? It's what we don't know that is so hard to make decisions. Oh, the lunar Christmas tree came back for a minute. All right, let me catch back up again. Yeah, down 19 on the all-time high. Yeah, I mean, it could be worse. It's worse for me. Some others. That shouldn't make you feel better, by the way. It doesn't feel good to be down at all. So maybe I need to stop saying it could be worse. I think we should really look at it as, okay, well, what should we do? And I stick to what I keep saying here of you should stick to the companies that you believe in. Maybe it is time to pair out on companies that you don't believe in. But I don't really have, like, I keep looking at my port and I'm like, I don't know. Outside of Archer, which I make fun of a lot, there isn't a whole lot that I don't believe in long term. I think they're all good companies. Everyone's walking back to refill their drink. Yeah, that's exactly it. Everyone runs out of Coke and has to sleep. Yeah, eventually it happens, right? I agree, Justin. Assess, adapt, overcome. I will say this though, like looking at right now where we're at, I don't think I would rush to do anything today on a Friday. I also wouldn't even buy to close any positions because I don't think you're going to get a wild opportunity to resell them. I'll tell you this, I still have leaps. I still have leaps on TTD. But look at this. Okay, this is a good example. TTD leaps are sad. But my leap target goes out to here, January 2027. And we had good earnings. We had a breakdown, a bearish trend here that we thought we were turning on. It was at one point like peaked at I think 30% in the profit. And it's like, yeah, I wish I sold there. We touched the gap and then we bounced off the gap and then it's only been down. But even that, like just counting days, this is a month, right? This is October 17th to November. We'll go to here, whatever, 17th. That's a month from there to there. 1 month we saw that much movement. What will one more month bring us? Does it mean I should panic sell here? I don't know. I don't think so. I look at this and I go, yeah, well, that sucks. And definitely my leaps are down. And man, I wish I waited till here to buy the leaps, but how could you know? But there's so much time. I mean, who knows what can happen in a year from here? It could be, who knows? Whoops, I'm drawing more lines, right? Like, stop drawing. I don't want to draw anymore. I keep clicking the wrong button. And that's not even the end. That's not even the end of the leap time period. That's just like to September of next year. But this seems totally plausible of what the chart could look like. And that's why I look at this and I go, unless something has changed in your individual hypothesis on a specific equity, why sell? Unless you look at like, okay, I think there's a much better position to be in than TTD. So like maybe you want to get out of TTD. Although for leaps it doesn't really make any sense at all because they're worth very little right now. But for maybe a stock position like Hims, maybe you want to get out of Hims to put it in Oscar. I don't know. You could consider that, especially if you're doing tax loss harvesting. That's definitely a consideration. I can tell you, my son is waiting for 210 on Amazon. My 13-year-old son, he's like, "Yeah, I don't want to buy it yet." I'm like, "Okay, let me know. I'll rebuy your one share. It'll be great." But even Amazon, that's pretty wild. Amazon's down. Walmart's up, by the way. Walmart is continuing to be a bull trend overall. And I think that is a wonderful indicator of sentiment that we should be taking into consideration. On the daily, chart looks good. On the weekly, looks even better, right? Like, look at that, just nice stacked EMAs, SMAs. I think this is a great, it's a great sign. And Walmart is typically a good sentiment indicator of the consumer, right? Like, this is a wide cross section of the American consumer. People are still going to Walmart. People are still spending money. Um, but yeah, anyway, that's my take on it right now. Yeah, Walmart had great earnings. I'm curious, what happened to Target? I had those Target leaps. I'm glad I got out of those, by the way. I'm very glad I got out of the leaps like right here. So that one worked out. And then they fell off again. But I think they've been sharing bad news for the company. Um, they missed revenue, and they had some like, uh, yeah, some negative guidance. So I will probably play Target Leaps again in the future. We're back at this bottom support level that we keep hitting for Target, which is also kind of interesting. Double, triple, quadruple bottom. I don't know what you want to call it, but like historically, this is a very low point since 2020. That's crazy. But yeah, this could actually be a new leap position to consider again. Them and Lunar was another one that we got the Christmas tree on that I keep wanting to go back to. I should take the Christmas tree off here now. It worked for a couple of days until it didn't, right? Well, apparently the Christmas tree turns red. That's what we learned. The Christmas tree indicator. This is below the bottom of the prior cup. I'm still not like willing to get back in because we could go back to here on Lunar at this point. Like that's where the breakdown might take us to, and the trend is very much in that direction right now, which it wouldn't even take us past December to get there. So I would, if you're thinking about Lunar leaps, I'd probably wait a little bit longer, but I am keeping an eye on that. They're definitely, I don't think they've had wildly bad news. Um, Interesting. Curious. I'd have to catch up on some of this news here, but yeah, could be an opportunity. PMI came in decent. Okay, okay. Let's check out the economic calendar. Oh, Black Friday! Don't forget the Theta Daddy link for that is in the chat there. If you're interested in jumping in on that, we've got a affiliate link. That's one thing that you get a better deal, and we get some sort of, I don't even know what it is, some sort of result from it. Okay, we got to go to today. We're on today. We weren't on today. Now we're on today. PMI. So forecast 54.5, actual 54.8. Okay, well that's kind of cool. Weighted average of manufacturing output and service business activity index. Business trends. This isn't surprising though when you think about it. If you look at it, because how have earnings been across the board? Like, earnings have generally been quite strong. So I look at this and I go, yes, makes sense. Again, what are we all panicking about? I don't know. I don't know what we're panicking about. This seems like the most inexplicable drop I've ever seen in 20 years of my investing. Everything that we've had these major drops on in the past You've always been able to point to like housing bubble, subprime mortgage lending bubble, fraud, etc. issues countrywide, Lehman Brothers, COVID, tariffs. What is it today? What is happening today? I don't think you can call it the AI bubble. Like it doesn't feel like AI has had any negative press to it. It just feels like I don't know. We're just generally anxious. It's the millennial, zennial, Gen Z anxiety bubble. Right? What else would you call it? Composite and services above, manufacturing slightly down. Yeah, that's fine. That seems fine to me. It's now burning. What's burning? You should go to the doctor for that. Can we extend our current membership with the affiliate link? Yes, you can. I just did that this morning for myself, actually. Um, it will add, for me, it added 252 days. So I have till 2027. Highly recommend it if it's in the description if you want to click on that. No, thank you. And but really, it's like the best deal you're gonna get is their Black Friday deal. I think it's 70 or 80% off, and I like the premium subscription. That's what I use. Everything that you see here comes with premium, which includes, like we talked about in my trading view videos, a lot of the good stuff there with chart or full watch list indicators, etc. Okay, what is down? ASPI. This is one that is scary because I almost got back in at 9 on them. U is down again after huge up, huge down. They went to 16 and now they're at 12. Holy cow. I'm not touching this one for a while, by the way. I think this is just too risky to have. Like this one, I could see potentially breaking below. It doesn't feel super supportive anywhere. Could break below the 200. Could break below this prior support level, which is below the 200 at not $8-9. Yeah, I don't know about you. Applied is at the 100, testing the 100 on the daily. Same. Wow, Galaxy is testing the 200. I don't remember why I drew this line. Oh, this is what I thought a trend could look like to come back up. We'll draw it down here. It still could, by the way. Although maybe it's down here now. I don't know. It was just matching the prior trend. But yeah, this is super bearish all of a sudden. I have Galaxy shares too, by the way. 2,000 of them. AIP. I do have AIP. That's not one we talk about too much here, though. NVIDIA is worth looking at. They are below 180, which is below the 100 SMA, which, by the way, is, me and Frizzle, and a few others, Showcase bought some leaps here, which paid out real well. I'm not sure I would do it again yet. There's still risk that we test the 200. Oh, I got Discord notifications that I got to figure out how to turn off. Apparently, maybe I should just exit in case they're talking about anything. I shouldn't be streaming right now. I don't know. Where the link is? Oh, hold on a second. Well, it's in the weekly updates on the Discord. If you want to go there, it's the first one up, and if not, it should be in the description. And if not, I can. Let me turn off my screen for just a second here, because I will share another link in the actual chat here. Give me one sec. Oh, you can still see me. I can stay on. You can see me while I look this up. Oh man, so much fun stuff. Okay, here is the trading view. Can I post? I can probably post. What? That did not post. Is that link? There we go. That's it, if you're interested. And I can turn my screen back on now. Thanks for not blowing up my spot there while I get that. Cool. Yeah, so anyway, back to NVIDIA. these are all things that are at a good price. But the problem is, and continues and will continue to be, I doubt many people are heavy in cash right now. There are some people who I know liquidated somewhere around here, and I will not disagree with that. I just all I can say is that's not what my approach or what I'm doing. Um, and let's go back to what is up today. We've got even so I think AA said this. Average Advisor said this pretty well that we need to we opening high doesn't help, right? If we just get another red candle and close down, open high, close low, we really need to open low, close high. Like that's what we need to start seeing, and we just haven't been seeing that. I am curious on the heat map. I haven't looked at. Hey, look, Black Friday. Is it on every window you click? Yeah. So the heat map actually looks pretty decent today, but I just because we opened high, I don't know if it'll be a good result across the board for us or not. This is the S&P, so we can see that the megas are pretty well split. Apple, Nvidia split in the difference. Google, Microsoft split. Meta slightly green. Amazon perfectly flat. Tesla slightly up. Everything that we normally care about in the Mag 7 anyway. Although, what did they call that? Somebody was saying that they called it the Super Six because clearly people just don't like Tesla and don't want to include them in it, or they don't like Elon. I find it kind of comical. Um, yeah. So ons took a big red yesterday, mega red. They're having an okay open, but again, they opened high and they're closed. They're already lower. Hood's actually green on the day. That's cool to see. Green, like both open higher and currently higher than open. And I saw NBIS is actually doing pretty well here too, which is exciting. Back above this imaginary support line. It's not really imaginary. This is where we opened above after that huge contract news over there, the gap. So this is good. This is actually very good to see for NBIS. I would love to have a big green candle today. I'm not sure that's in the cards, but it would be nice to start to build that turn. The fact is, we need it on the weekly, and although we've got a nice green candle here on the weekly, actually, we got an inverted hammer on the weekly potentially for NBIS and green and tweezer bottom. And I wouldn't call this a tweezer, but all of these things are a good sign that maybe we're making the turn here for them. Although looking at the RSI, maybe not. Pretty flat on the 14 period for the weekly. Not oversold or overbought there at all, but definitely turning on the 2 period here. So yeah, definitely potentially good, but like everything, we need time, and this is where it can be hard trading on a daily basis, a weekly basis, when you're looking at the data so frequently. It hurts to look at. Again, like when NBIS as an example went down for this like week and a half straight, every day sucked, and it just felt like we were going to go down forever, all the way down to the gap fill, and then we V-shaped recovery back up to right back to all-time highs. We almost closed at an all-time high, hit the top of the fib, and then we're doing the same thing down. So like, there's not a whole lot to do but to wait. Now, the nice thing about NBIS is you get good premiums on them. So you can get probably pretty close to your cost basis, or good enough premiums below cost basis, which I did this week at 105, that it worked out pretty good. Now, I don't want to sell for next week yet because we're still down here on the 100 SMA. I would love to find ourselves back into this range here for next week CC to sell. We'll see. I'm not sure that's happening today. I feel like Friday, we're just tired. The market is tired of the whipsaw. But the market doesn't care how I feel or you feel. So that could change on a dime too. Rocket Lab still under 40. Incredible. Still at that support line, though, that we drew from quite a while ago. Will we get back? I feel like this does have a good chance of hitting the 200, which is right now 36, 37. By the time we hit it, it would likely be 37. Might be something that I more strongly consider. I might actually liquidate a position to get in on Rocket Lab. Not financial advice. Do I think 80 CSPs are safe on NBIS? I think 80 is a great price to own it at. Maybe that's the way to say it, because nothing's safe, as we're finding out this week. There's no such thing as safe. In fact, 60 is the 200 SMA, so on the daily. So that, like, just to give you an example of what you might have to consider, or 66 being the gap, maybe another way to phrase it. What will you feel if you sell 80s and we close at 60 next week, as an example, somewhere next week? I think that it's a great company to own, and I don't have a whole lot of concern for the long term. I lived through this with Reddit, which is Reddit red now. Is that what's happening? Oh no, it's still green. I will always go back to this. This was nonsense. This drop here was nonsense, and we'll even write that here of nonsense drop. No news at all caused this drop to here, from here to here, and we have to look at the time frame. This was February 10th, and this was April 7th, which obviously coincided with the, what's it called? The tariff stuff. But that's 2 months. 2 months of nonsense. And then 6 months of, maybe not 6 months. This is April, and the peak, the absolute peak was September, May, June, July, August. 5 months of recovery to not only hit the all-time high, but to blast past it. I mean, that's the time frame that we might be looking at on some of this stuff. Could it be V-shaped? Yes, but Reddit wasn't V-shaped. Reddit was elevator down, escalator up, right? Or stairs. It took a long time until we had that multiple baller earnings in a row that peaked us here. So are we going to have the same thing with NBIS? I don't know. Nobody knows. But I feel fine owning it. It's kind of where I keep going back to. Everything the market does is to make you either panic sell or FOMO buy, right? Like that's the game. And this feels like panic sell, especially when we're already down. Bull. Okay, let's look at Bull. Bull gonna break my heart. I keep waiting for Bull to keep going lower, and eventually I'm gonna like double up on the position again. Where did Bull go? Oh, you said it's red, so it's at 8. Yeah, better go down after killer earnings. Like, this is nothing. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, price target cut on Webull. Yeah, and after it's dropped. Thanks, analyst. That's super good. Maintained buy on Rosenblatt. Cuts price target on Rosenblatt. What does this even mean? Record revenue and customer assets driven by innovation and global expansion. Is this a company that feels bad to own? I mean, it does if you look at the chart, but what what else does a company need to say to be like, hey, you should buy me? I don't know. Yeah, we're looking at it, $7.95, right? Market is turning red for sure now. We're losing ground here. This is what we waited. We didn't wait long enough. So okay, apparently my streaming doesn't keep the market up. That means I do get to turn it off at some point today. That's good news. But yeah, I mean, I think this is it for this week for sure. Until we get multiple catalysts in a row that really calm the nerves. Until then, the VIX. I bet VIX is still up, right? What is VIX at? VIX, where are you? I'm blind. I'm losing it. There it is. We're at 2%. Okay, we're all over the place. But I think based on the market movement, we might see some spike up here by the end of the day. Also, it's early in the day, so no need to panic on anything yet. Anyway, we'll see where things shake out. Although that didn't work out well yesterday, we got to be clear on that one. SPY is flat, dropping a little bit here, retesting the 100 maybe. And has there been any new economic news that came out? Let's see. We had PMI, which let me shrink this back down. How do I do that? There we go. We talked through that, and then we had all this Michigan stuff. And let's see, forecast versus actual inflation expectations has dropped. That seems good. Current conditions, I don't know if this is good or not. All this stuff is noise anyway, right? Like this is just a data point, a single data point. 50.5 to 50, like none of this is not like anything moving, earth shattering. Wholesale inventories. Forecast was -2%, actual was 0. Okay. So that seems fine. It seems like, unfortunately, this all just tells me more chop is coming. We don't care about oil rig count. We don't care about total rigs count. This is nothing. That's it. That's it for the news. So nothing groundbreaking. I think we chopped today. I think we hold our breath till next week again. So it goes. It isn't a bear trend, and Alec, you're right. You know, stocks in moving in a direction want to keep moving in a direction. It takes time. It's like turning the battleship, right? You don't stop on a dime usually. Sometimes you do, but usually things like the squeeze mom indicator, the RSIs, these exist for a reason, right? Like they top out and come pull back, and um, you know, it's true even for stocks I love like Lilly. We go bright green and then we slow down, and do we turn back? I don't know. You could stay green for months. Google's another one, right? Where well, I guess I can make these a little bit bigger. Oh, it messes everything up. You know, you can look at these and just see that usually it's smooth. Usually the overall movement, if you were to draw it, uh, is very rounded, right? Like that's why we have EMAs. Like how close is that to an 8 EMA that I just drew? The 50 is basically a great, whoops, I'm still on the line. A great example of immediate trend. I like the 50 SMA for showing what the stock's really doing right now. It's not quite exponential level. It smooths it really nicely, and it's not so slow and far behind of the 100 and 200. Groundbreaking, I know. Hey, Crazy Jay, you just joined and heard chop. Well, that's where we're at, brother. We got chop. The market is split decisions everywhere. Can't pick a direction. I think that this is just... Now, there might be some interesting things to see today and how we close the week on a lot of these companies. Maybe that's how we should be looking at this on the weekly candle finale. How many charts are ending in the green? Google's not a good example, but like NBIS on the weekly, this is surprising, right? Like this is actually not terrible. Is this a place where we bounce back? Potentially. ASTS, I would think, yeah, big reds all over the place, looking kind of bearish. Don't want to jump back in that yet. What was Rocket Lab? Rocket Lab went red. Again, a lot of these speculative growth stocks with not much revenue, if any. Does Rocket Lab have revenue? It does. Okay. Well, not much earnings per share, I should say. Although that was pretty close. They're getting close to break even and above. I mean, 0.01 is pretty good. Reported 0.03 is not terrible. They're getting there. CoreWeave, this one is... Hey, look at that. I forgot I drew a cup there. This is another one that just very much in that bearish trend. But look at that oversold. Like, that's kind of gross. Not on the... Well, certainly not going to be on the 14-day. But it is on the daily. The 14. Look at that. Wildly oversold on both. That's where I really expect to start seeing a turn at this point for these, for some of these stocks. This doesn't seem sustainable for the individual equity. Archer, another one that's just like in the dumps. Um, we're back to all time, not all time lows, but like regular support levels of years past. Right here, this was April, by the way, right? So I always exclude April for the most part. We could hit it, but this is a common support level, and I think this makes this kind of a big inflection point for the market. Are we going to change our minds or not? Is sentiment going to shift or not? Because if it breaks down, then there's a lot of things that we go like, I don't know. I don't know where the bottom is. Could be down here. That would suck because that was $3 for Archer. But like there's really there's nothing that says this couldn't happen. Unfortunately, it's so odd. There's just no news coming out. Hey, Jake, aka Husker. I'm sorry, I should call you by your real name. Your real name is Husker, by the way. Xenos, good to see you. Hood, you want to look at Hood? Yeah, let's look at Hood. Hood's been one that I keep debating on getting back to. This is interesting on Hood because do you remember how strong the 100 support level was for Hood when we were in this trading range for a while back then? Crazy to see that that's where we're at right now. Almost back to that 100 support. Well below the 100 SMA. A bit off the fib. We're in the middle of the fibs on the daily. I don't really see us dropping back to the 200. It doesn't feel like a support level. I feel like we've got a lot of chop ahead of us for these as we work towards 100. And in fact, maybe it's not a wedge like that, but almost like a cup and handle without the cup. I think this could happen. Who knows how far this is, by the way? Like this could be just here as we look to potentially get closer to these support levels that we were at in the summer. But there's nothing like the trend is bad right now for Hood. We've crossed the 80 MA has now officially crossed 100 on the daily. Same is true for the 21 crossing over the 50 and the 34 crossing over the 50, which seems inevitable that if we hang out here, they will cross the 100 as well. But I think we're in a chop zone. We're in the chop shop. There is a tiny cup. Where's the tiny cup? Joby was claiming Archer of some stuff. Huh? Maybe. I mean, I wonder what though. Let me sort again by letters here so we can find them. Is that in the news? Archer stock after Joby filed the lawsuit alleging corporate espionage? Whoa! Oh, that's crazy. Wow. Probably not good for Joby either, by the way. It's not. Oh, wow. That's crazy. That's fun news. Not if you're a shareholder, of course. But that's wild. Corporate espionage. I haven't heard that term used in a minute. GT still looking good, though. Still green on the day. And green from open to close, or open to open. We're still open. Huma has been a disaster. This is another potential cup, by the way, as we're really flattening out here at the toilet range of $1. Consistent. Look, another support that goes back to this one does go back to April, by the way, for Huma. Doesn't mean it'll go up. I hate to say it. Doesn't mean it'll go up. Google's backing off from the daily high. Now got a red candle as well as we make a potential bull flag. I think we're going to delete this for now. This again, there's so much chop. I don't think that type of indicator is useful to consider right now. What's a reverse cup called? A hat, maybe? A hat to the side? Probably. Nuclear? Oh no! Isn't nuclear a penny stock though? I don't even. Oh well, it's IPO'd. Yeah, it's a penny stock for sure. We have no technical info that we can use on this either. Maybe this could most definitely be a cup, by the way. I don't know about nuclear, dude. I don't know. I've been staying away from IPOs and SPACs and all that crap for a while. It's not, to me, it's not worth it right now. I'm a penny stock. You're a penny stock, Alec. Actually, you're right. I am technically a penny stock by market cap. Only hats with N on them? Huh. I don't know what that means. All right, Bull is fighting for its life at $8, by the way. Yeah, a lot of chop today. Markets again pretty mixed. I think we're going to see this for a good portion of at least the morning. I think we need some high up in the administration tweets. Just going to throw that out there. That could make a stronger finish to um, the market. But realistically, I think it's got to be a combination of rate cuts and some sort of confidence inspiring administration position on uh, American investment, something like that. To me, that's going to be the thing that could start moving sentiment in the right direction. Otherwise, we've just got probably a few weeks of pain ahead of us. And I read, or I watched that video of Tom Lee talking about the Bitcoin liquidity issues that could be contributing to this. I don't know. Oh my God, bulge is that under 4? That's crazy. That's how 2x's work, by the way. But yeah, this whole liquidity thing that they were talking about on Bitcoin, triggering all these equity, basically margin call equivalent in holdings, in asset holdings for market makers, driving prices down, trying to free up cash is a wild consideration. And if that's true, my take is there's literally nothing you can do because we don't know. In prior times, they said that took 8 weeks. We're at 6 weeks of 8 weeks. I don't know. Who knows if it takes the same amount of time for that to unwind or not? I keep hearing January dates thrown out. I don't think any of this means anything, by the way. But this is a fascinating potential of like, okay, maybe that could be a cause to all of this chop and issue we're having in the market right now, or just straight up correction. But I don't know what you do with it, but hold on tight. White knuckle through it a little bit. Uh, you're finding conviction, I'm sure, in companies that you don't necessarily believe in long term. Oh, hood went red. And this could be a time where you reassess and write down. I like to. I don't know if I have the what I wrote down here anymore. Let's see if I have it still. I like to write down on occasion my what I want to invest in. I think I ripped it out. I did. It's gone. Damn it! I was going to show it. In fact, I got a lot of stuff that this is an old notebook from work that's like mildly depressing to even look at. Gives me anxiety. But write it down in your notebook on what are the stocks right now that you feel good about. And you want to remember that, right? Like you want to write that down. Maybe write why you feel good about it. So we have trade logs. I show my trading tracker all the time. And this is fine for tracking individual trades and what you're doing. But like, which by the way, I barely traded anything this week. And these notes are not like really meaningful. Write it down on paper. Why are you invested in this company? What do you like about it? Go through your holdings, right? And say like, what about these companies do you believe in? And the fact is, maybe I would get out of Archer in hindsight, which arguably was what I was trying to do anyway at 11. Missed that boat. And some of these others, like I look at everything else, I'm not getting out of any of this. Eventually, ONS too, I'm sure. Actually, maybe not. Honestly, ONS I think is a really strong runway company for the long term. The cost basis for me is high, but again, like I'm still selling options. I have live options on ONS right now that pay fine. You know, $1,000 for January, which I don't think we'll even hit at this rate. Um, I think that is a worthwhile exercise to perform. Is what are you actually happy to hold, even at these prices, and what are the things that you would pare back and get rid of? That's my recommendation. Alternatively, search around, right? Find what are the things on your watch list that you're like, hey, this is, like I keep talking about Lunar. Maybe I'm putting an alert for Lunar at the trend line. The price crosses down the trend line one time, boom. Okay, got an alert. I'm gonna keep an eye on you, Lunar. If you drop below here, I'm in on leaps, right? Probably do the same thing for Target, which I'm not even on my watch list anymore. I don't even know where this line would have to be. This is I'm not gonna make an alert on this right now, but it's probably like down here at 50. Believe it, like seriously, I don't think I'll touch Target unless it drops into the 50s. Not even joking. That's where I've kind of lost faith on them. They've got to show turnaround. Okay, what else did I miss? You guys are all talking. It's called the inverted cup. Oh, it is boring. I still think the hat with the sideways hat is the way to go. I'm learning the hard way with 2X's right now. Please make it stop. Well, look, they hurt. They're not fun. You can do one of three things. You can average down. You can sell them at a loss, or you can just hold and wait. Will it take slightly longer than the usual equity to recover? Yes, because they do have expenses and decay. But like if a 2X, we can look at what's a long running 2X TSLL. There were times where TSL went, if you say you bought TSLL here and you held for years and it dropped from 19 to 4, which is kind of similar to what's happening right now for a lot of things. There was decay in this, right? There were expenses paid, but eventually you could have sold it for 40, which would have been 2X, your 2X. Or 10X the low. So averaging down here would have been a good decision to make. You probably would have sold it here. I'm not sure anybody would have waited for this, but like you could have DCA'd down and got out. There's just, it's a decision you need to make of, is it stopping you from sleeping at night? Even then you might want to double think that one before you jump on a liquidation plan. But like, I don't know. It's hard for me to... I'm dead inside. I've been doing this for a long time. So when I look at what happens right now, I literally copy and paste that back to earlier in the chart where we have this happening here, but look, it also happened here. But then it unhappened. Things got better, right? Like, it's cyclical. And it really sucks in the moment because time takes forever. I mean, look at this just awful period for anyone holding Tesla during this time period. And everyone was probably like, sell, 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 sell. People sold down here, but then look at that trend back up. Now, did we match those old all-time highs yet? No. My point is that I do think eventually things get better. We don't panic. Panicking is the enemy. But yeah, we're going red again. Definitely CHOP is turning red for now. But that could just as easily end green. Who knows? So that's it. That's going to be it for my review this morning, I think. Let me catch up on what you guys are talking about, though. There was a line there that said, Alec doesn't click sumo links. Yes, that's right. That happened. Husker uses a notebook. Good. Beer is definitely good to hold. How about Uzo? Is it Uzo? Did I say it right? I'm not too keen on retail, but what are your thoughts on ELF? Oh, let's look at ELF. You know what? I'm not keen on it, but I do look at it. And I thought this was the most ridiculous drop I've seen in a while. Here's what I thought on ELF. It reminded me of Lulu in this drop. And my learnings from Lulu was not to buy here hoping for a bounce back up. Lulu has been disastrous multiple times this year. I think I looked at it here and we dropped further and I got out. And then we had some recovery and we dropped further, right? And then we dropped further. And while there was some retracement in some cases, this is the one that I messed around with. We dropped and then we only dropped more for multiple weeks. And even that recovery at that point didn't help. I did sell somewhere here to get as little loss as possible, recoup some of that loss. But look at that long-term trend. We kept going, and then we flattened, then we kept going, then we flattened. And right now we're very flattened. It feels like a strong level of support again, all the way back to, God, 2018 for Lulu. No, COVID. No, 2019, I guess. Yeah, that's COVID. So my point is, don't try to catch the falling knife, which I'm sure you've all heard. And what needs to change for ELF? And also, where are the areas of support for ELF? At this point, we're so close to here. I would not touch it for sure unless we retested these lows, which unfortunately was April. Okay, so maybe we do this. Maybe we do that. And we say the magic number is 60, not necessarily this 50 number, because this was tariff mania. I'd probably be looking for a bounce around here. Could be the fib for sure. Also, this is where we're zoomed out so far. We should be looking at the monthly chart. Oh my, that is disgusting, by the way. And again, wasn't even bad news, right? Okay, they did miss on revenue, but EPS was good. Seems like a wild drop for ELF. Overreaction. But I would still wait. Actually, let's look at the daily. We're oversold on both RSIs, but that's common everywhere right now. So I think it's a fair consideration. And I'd probably pick a point where if it dropped to here, as an example, maybe it's leap time. Maybe you don't go all in on shares. Maybe you do some year-long leaps, because when we dropped from here to here and recovered into this cup and handle, which, by the way, this was a cup and handle for sure. You can even see it on the volume chart here. Boom. We went from January to April back to July. So that was a 7-month period, 6-7 months, whatever. Ha, did not mean it. Nobody clipped that. Thankfully, YouTube doesn't have clips. So over that time frame, we saw a full recovery. Now, if we're thinking that we're doing the same thing again, you do have a lot of time potentially right now for that to once again recover into the 100 plus range. So I probably would look at it for leaps, and I will certainly share that on the Discord if and when I do. Bulls at 783. Wow. On killer results, by the way. Let's see what else we got. Got some really good stocks with potential that beat. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. That is exactly the way to think about it, Crazy Gang. Anytime, Justin. Look, I'm not gonna ever try to sugarcoat stuff and say like everything will be fine, because some of these companies might not make it. You gotta, like the S&P 500. The reason why Buckleheads work is because so many companies over the long haul, this is not to make you scared, but like for sure, companies get bought, acquired, some go out of business. Technology changes. I don't think being on the cutting edge technologies like AI and tech is of concern. I wouldn't want to be in quantum right now. What is quantum doing? I mean, they're in the toilet like everybody else, but actually not nearly as bad as I would have guessed. Let's see, IonQ. Yeah, I mean, they're basically just seeing what everybody else is seeing. We're going back to support levels from the summer. So even they are, whatever. They're all in the same bucket right now, although I wouldn't want to be in quantum. He's got a hot date with a taco truck. Oh, man. Now I'm envious. That sounds good. Also thinking leaps. Is there the same gap twice on that chart? Which one, Husker? On Elf? Were you looking at Elf or Lulu? The answer is probably. There's a if you're talking about Elf, it was here, and then we had some. Well, actually, we didn't have on the daily that I see. We had a gap up and a gap down. So yes, there was a gap between here and here, and here and here. Like this is actually, if okay, I don't want to jinx anything, but I'm still gonna say it. Like if NBIS had a cancellation of the contract with Microsoft for some reason, that would probably happen here. We would probably gap and then move around this part again. So it would just drop over here and do whatever. I don't think that's a concern. I just think we're, like I said, dealing with the AI chop for the moment. Crazy to think though that they are back under 82. Who was asking earlier? Burrito, don't sell those ADPs. Hopefully you're still on. Like I said, we might drop down here. Who knows? Hard to say. Hey Daily, what's going on, man? Anything you want to see? Anyone else? Anyone else want to see some particular charts that we can check out? Walmart, man, holding strong to that 0.07% in the green. Reddit's green. Hey, well, the bar is red, but you know they're still green on the day. AI is a new paradigm. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's a good way to phrase it. What's going on, Elias? Elias or Elias? I can imagine it being both. Yeah. So like, where is AI going? I don't think it's going anywhere. Like, doesn't everybody already use it everywhere in life, and every business is trying to figure out how to use it more and more? How could it possibly, like, unless it's outlawed, which would be a weird thing to do, and I don't think that can even happen. I mean, maybe it could, but like beyond that, what could happen? Hanging in there. Have I seen Bill? Yeah. We were just talking about Bull. 775. All right. I don't know. Like I keep waiting to buy more Bull. That's where I'm at right now. I've debated doubling down at 10. I've been debating doubling down at 8, and now I'm like, all right, maybe I'm doubling down at. Can't believe I'm saying 7, but 7. How do you look at a company that is growing exponentially with great results? And look at this: record revenue and customer assets driven by innovation and oh, what a terrifying headline! We better sell everything. Revenue grew 55% year over year. That means they went from 100 million in revenue to 156 million in revenue, and they're getting a lot of customers. What are we worried about here? Expansion into new markets, product launches, whatever on the AI stuff. Hey, why did that come up? I don't want to look at you right now. Risks include regulatory and market volatility. Oh, like everything. Yeah, I look at this and I go, I am right now. I'm not proud to be a bull owner, maybe, but I have no problem owning it. And well, shit, if I didn't have it already, I'd be buying a lot of it. What's going on, Lord Mar? We're not so back. We're definitely not so back. The company you work for is barely looking at it. Yeah, so that's just it, Husker. Coming from manufacturing, they were just when I left trying to figure out how to use it. I took a course on it for like Udemy or something because I'm like, I don't know, someone needs to explain how AI can work for a business to me. And I learned a ton, actually. It was a very useful course, and the company paid for it, so even better. And I just look at it and I go, the companies are not using it at all yet. There's so much opportunity. And it reminds me of, people always say that automation is going to take everyone's jobs. And that may be true eventually. Like the Tesla robots that we were looking at earlier, that might be a real risk for the market, right? Like hold on a second. Where was it? Here. We were looking at Elon had the robots dancing. Oh, we're on Cantonese cat. That's not what I want. This, right? Like, if this is where we get to as a society, this is a problem, right? Because now you literally just can have robots do general jobs that humans do right now. It's a problem that needs to be solved, I should say. I don't want to say like it's the end of the world, because everybody will obviously know that somehow people need to continue to live, and at that point systems may change. I don't know, but AI is not this. AI is like automation that people have been scared of for 40 years, taking bus driver jobs and all these like particular jobs, again, like what we're seeing here. That's not that's not a risk with just regular AI. It is as you combine it with technology like this, and then it gets scary. And maybe, and I don't know, maybe that's part of what people are freaking out about. I don't think so. That's just my opinion, obviously. I don't see it as a way to, hey, look at that. Oh no, the dragons at Wendy's. That's bad news. That's bad news. So I don't look at this as like terrifying. The world's ending. I look at it as the world's going to get more productive again. It's like, do you remember going to the internet in general? That was the same thing in just this whole new world. But this isn't like the dot com bubble, where we made a bunch of fake websites and everyone's like, oh, we need to invest in them. These companies that we're looking at are real. CoreWeave, despite being at 65 right now, holy shit, is a real company that does real things, that has hardware that serves a real purpose. It's not like Yahoo.com that should have sold for billions of dollars and then I think eventually sold for like $50 or something. iRobot Terminator, that's terrifying. 55% year over year growth. Yeah, better go down 6%. A lot of matching campaign. Yep, there's that. There's Hood's been doing the same. Hood is approaching that 100 level, by the way. So, yeah, I think we're also getting to the point where with the drops that we have right now this week, which by the way, almost everything is flipped to red. Even Reddit. Oh no, even Reddit is about to do it. Don't you do it, Reddit. With everything flipping this way, I do think this is building pressure for the administration to come up with an announcement. Where's that GME screen? Of course it is. You can't go below negative value, which is what it's currently at. And GT, by the way, too. Amazing. And UNH. Hey, that's cool. UNH is green. Trying to break above that 80 EMA. And Huma, of course. Of course, Huma. My penny stock that I like to follow. Lily continuing to just crush everyone. I should have full ported here, man. If we just full ported in Lily, we would all be up. Why didn't we listen to ourselves? That's the real question. Yeah, so I think pressure's building for change, for announcements, for whatever it could be. Who has that? Where's the fear and greed index? Where do you even find that? I never look at that. Fear and greed index. CNN? Oh, there's a fear and greed meter.com. There we go. Extreme fear. Went up a point 25 minutes. I don't know what that means. But yeah, this is fascinating to see. I'm bullish. No, I don't want to log in. I don't want you to actually know who I am. Crazy that. How about crypto? Crypto's slightly better. Extreme fear. So, what do you do in extreme fear? I don't think you do anything. It's too late. You've already reached, like, if you're going to sell everything, you do it here. You sell high, buy low. Sell high, buy low. Sorry, that's just how it works. And right now, to me, this is not a place to sell. But at the end of the day, you got to do you. You gotta take care of yourself and do your best. CNN. Okay, hold on. I think I just had CNN. I take it off screen in case there's any saucy things that we don't want to be showing on my web history. Like, I don't think there is, but like I just don't ever need that in my life. Fear and greed, extreme fear. Oh, you want to pay for CNN? No, definitely not. Didn't they have a chart for junk bond? I love how it's called junk bonds. Yeah, I was hoping for a chart on this. Is there no chart on it? 1 week ago, 21. 1 month ago, 28. 1 year ago. Weren't we here in the summer? Like a couple months ago? 6, dude. What do you mean 7? It's 6. Yikers. NVIDIA meme stock. No. Does it go negative? New fear unlocked. Well, hold on. Does 0 mean no fear? We're just dead inside? I don't think it can go. I can't imagine it can go to 0. Why is that showing in the background? That other chair. Sorry about that. I don't know how to stop that from happening. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is wild. We're living in wild times. Got to white knuckle it through. I think that's it. That's all I'm going to do. Oh, we don't need to see my name there. Anyway, I think that's all I got for you today. I recommend. We talked about it a little bit. Wow, that's a big negative percent. We talked about it earlier. Write down the stocks that you like. That even during these tumultuous times, that's a big fancy word, you are not scared to hold. Take a look at your report and say, like, okay, if everything was at all-time highs right now, what would I change? What would I do differently? And get that all written down. That's your data to do something else with. What stocks do you wish you stayed in? That's, for me, it is Lilly. I got out here. I don't regret it per se in that, that was kind of the plan. That was the plan. But there was always this potential to keep running. We had talked about 900, which is here. That's why that bar exists. And to see that we blew through that is crazy. And maybe that's just the learning for the future of Lilly investing. The other thing I recommend that you do is practice mindfulness, gratefulness. What are the things in life that you appreciate that are not the stock market? Because none of this matters. This is all random ass abstract human creation stuff that does not genuinely impact your here and now life. Yes, it's important in obviously trying to grow your wealth and all that, but that's not what we're living for. That's not why we invest. We're not investing just to see the chart and numbers go up. I don't know. Maybe you are. Maybe that's what you're here for, is to watch bars go up. It should be an enabler to live the life that you want to lead. And what does that include? Practice what you can of that right now with the resources that you have. You probably have things that you can do. I don't know. Maybe it's adult coloring books. I'm not going to hate on it. Maybe it's eating tacos at the taco truck, right? So definitely just take stock of the things that are important to you during times like these. And, you got to wait. Right? You got to wait. Got to get back to patience, and eventually stocks in the market go up and to the right. So that's what I got for everybody today. Do I think Lilly will continue this trajectory? I think it's potential. I do. I think there's... okay. I'm done with the main part of the show. I will give you my conspiracy theory on Lilly. That for Ein that I think is an interesting thought experiment. Okay, so imagine a world where we care about people's health. Imagine a world where it's very difficult to control our weight. Imagine a world where weight and obesity is the number one contributor to every single fatal disease out there. Oh, wait, we live in that world. Cool, not cool. But if that were the case, and we go back to the assumption that we care about people's health primarily, can you imagine a place where these GLP-1 drugs and the future ones, like, what is it called? Retretricha, I don't know, tetra whatever these ridiculous names are. Oh, Reddit screen, by the way. Imagine a world where all of a sudden that was accessible, truly accessible to everyone because it removes the biggest risk factor for all health issues. Well, if that's true, who are the major benefactors of such theories? Lilly and Novo Nordisk, sorry. Novo. Which I don't know why. I don't like Novo. I've never liked anything about them. I've never invested in them. I know Bob's in leaps on these, and you guys might all get rich jumping on those. I know Lilly. I know Lilly well, and so this is my choice. I know I follow their leadership. I know people who work there. I see what they invest in and what they do locally. And I've interviewed there globally, so I know I had done a lot of digging on them in the past, and I think they just have that mix of intellectual property, manufacturing capability, global footprints, and vision statement, mission statement that just people will align with. Because they're American based, they really have a good spot to be included in any of these types of activities should they ever come to be. So, that said, I'm a long-term believer that Lilly is like, I don't know, if what's the market cap here right now? Almost $1 trillion. I don't know why, if every single person in the world was on GLP-1, because humans have no self-control. Though I don't mean that as like accusatory to anyone, by the way, but just like on average, obviously when people have all things available to them that taste good, we like to eat them, me included. I think Lilly is like a safe bet for the long term. Now, I do think there will be a pullback at some point eventually, but it could very well continue. It's been super stable through all of this, like not even close to showing any pullback at all. Like random testing the 8 EMA, we didn't even test the 8 EMA yesterday. I think it's a good strong bet, but I'm not buying them here. To be clear, I would personally want to wait till we pulled back, possibly below 900. I was playing this channel for months with Paul and some others. And man, I just, the only thing in hindsight that I wish I did, which, you know, again, you can't regret this stuff because these opportunities will present themselves elsewhere in the future. We went 100K deep here and it paid off. But man, if I did 100K in leaps, well, how much would we be up right now? 400 times 400 times, no, 300 times, oh god, however many leaps you could have bought at that rate, something like 20, not 20, maybe 10. Yeah, that would have been an insane hold. I never would have held it here, by the way. I would have sold here for sure, or down here after we dropped. It's yeah, it would have been a nice one. But that's my conspiracy theory. IWM's pumping. Oh, hold on. What do we got? Tacos are awesome, yes. Why is NVO not moving like Lilly? Well, for one, isn't NVO not a... where are they based out of? Where's their headquarters? Global healthcare company, discovery, development, blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't know honestly. It's in Denmark. Okay, so that's I do believe that's part of it. It's not an American company, and during these times, with the market being what it is, who pays the most for healthcare? U.S. So I think naturally U.S. based companies do better in healthcare. You got companies like Merck though that are yeah. See, look, Merck is reacting like Lilly. I had Merck Leaps by the way. I sold these a long time ago. Um, who else is it's Merck and who else is US healthcare that like makes medicine? I'm not sure. I know there's a few others, but it's just not coming to mind here. Anyway, they are I think they're going to be the biggest benefactors, those that benefit from um, the conspiracy theory that I'm talking about. J&J? Really? The snack food company? J&J, literally NJ. Oh wow, yeah, okay, yeah, they're on the up and up too. Holy cow, do they count as health care? Pharmaceuticals major in health technology. Okay, well there you go. We found the sector that's crushing it right now. Tilray. Tilray sounds familiar. Nope, they're struggling. Process industries, agricultural commodities, milling. Did I? Are you sure? Do I have the right one here? Consumer packaged good company. Okay, medical cannabis research. Okay, yeah, no way. They're not going to follow the same. Sorry, they're going to eat it like Quantum and everybody else. It's a weed stock. You got me. Hey, where's Haywood? Is Haywood on? I'm not going to say that his last name though. All right, everybody. Thanks for jumping on. I'm gonna go do stuff that I like to do. That's not the market. Probably clean my house. I don't like to do that. What? That's not fun. It is. It is medicinal. I'll give you that. Hopefully this turns back green for us. But right now, yeah, we're. I think just to wrap up, I think we're gonna continue to chop all day, and maybe next week, really, until we get some useful news. So keep white knuckling. Don't panic. Do what you have to do. Make sure you're sleeping okay, and just remember what we're here for. It's not the stock market. This is a means to an end. Okay. Love you all. See you on the Discord. Oh, and don't forget, sign up on TradingView if you like it and use it. Use our affiliate link in the description or in the Discord on the weekly. I'll add everybody there as a reminder.